Once a snake, always a snake. There's a story about a little girl that goes walking up the trail, and it's a rushes.
Right.
And there's a snake laying in the trail, and it's too cold to move. Boo. So the snake...
Bitch, you knew I was a snake. I know this story.
It says, little girl, please pick me up and warm me up. Put me in your jacket, and I'll repay you by being kind to you. And so the little girl picks up this almost frozen snake and places it inside her jacket and continues on her trail. And as she's walking down this trail, she feels the snake to begin to thaw and warm. And you know what snakes are. I mean, they're snakes. And as they warm up, they start to move again. So the snake starts to get active inside her jacket, and it slithers its little head outside the cuff of her jacket and bites her in the neck. And the girl...
Now, wait a minute. Was it a superficial bite? Was it a deep penetrating bite? Was it a directional bite? Was there lots of bleeding? You know, I want to know. Was the snake bite superficial?
He drops the snake and grasps her neck and says, "What did you do that for?" And the snake said, "You knew what I was when you picked a kid."
Hey. Now, you're smart enough. You're smart enough to follow your own advice, and I'm telling you right now, there's a snake that's starting to warm up. And you said it yourself, when the snake warms up, they start to move.
Now you know this is funny. I'm a snake. I'm a snake. Oh man, I think I peed a little bit. I'm a snake. I'm a snake.
Boys and girls, take warning. If you go near the lake, keep your eyes wide open and look for a sneaky snake. Now maybe you won't see him, maybe you won't hear. He will sneak up behind you and drink all of your root beer. And then sneaky snake goes dancing, wiggling and a hissing. Sneaky snake goes dancing, giggling and a kissing. I don't like old sneaky snake. He laughs too much, you see. When he goes wiggling through the grass, it tickles his underneath. Well, sneaky snake drinks root beer, and he just makes me sick. When he's underneath. Well, sneaky snake drinks root beer, and he just makes me sick. When he's underneath. Well, sneaky snake drinks root beer, and he just makes me sick. When he is not dancing, he looks just like a stick. Now he doesn't have any arms or legs, you cannot see his ears. While we are not looking, he's stealing all of our beer. And then sneaky snake goes dancing, wiggling his ears. While we are not looking, he's stealing all of our beer. And then sneaky snake goes dancing, wiggling his ears. While we are not looking, he's stealing all of our beer. And then sneaky snake goes dancing, wiggling and a hissing. Sneaky snake goes dancing, a giggling and a kissing. I don't like old sneaky snake, he laughs too much, you see. When he goes wiggling through the grass, it tickles his underneath.
Snake. I'm a snake.
Hell your selfie. Our robust and round friend
Miss Sully, the single white female attached to Miss Donnell, who claims that she's an expert on this case and she's read all the pre-trial and trial documents, who sat up there and talked about other people's drug addictions on Rich's panel. I've got every comment she ever made on Reddit. For some reason, she doesn't remove them. It doesn't matter. Hell your selfie. At least she's got a tattoo or something like that. Hell your selfie. Something like that. Anyways, let's read. Thank you. And sorry for your experience. I'm 33 now, and I have an extremely good support system. And my mom, who at the time was at a loss, did what she thought was right, and I don't blame her. She would have never if she knew. We're on good terms, obviously, and we've worked really hard on our relationship. I just happened to be caught in the heroin high era of Plano. I did heroin before weed and had no idea. It wasn't like I started shooting up. I just thought it was like a type of weed. I was 12 and naive. I've been sober off heroin and meth for 17 years. I don't want compensation. I want these places shut down and awareness is brought forward because I now suffer from fibro, migraines, PTSD, ETC, FBI, WOW, FU, and WTF. And I know my childhood probably exacerbated my current issues. I just don't want teens to go through what I went through. See, that's where you and I, Miss Sully, that's where you and I are on the same page. But see, if you're in a bad situation, you come out of it and you're better. Usually. I didn't have such a brilliant childhood either. But I didn't do heroin and meth and then sit on YouTube and talk about other people's addictions. See, in recovery, you would know that the addicts, they don't, they keep their sobriety by giving it away. And taking shots at someone else's addiction is addictive behavior. It's not recovery-based behavior. And I know this because I do hold a CCDC at one time. Every year they have to be reviewed. I haven't went back to it. But there was a time when I worked as a CDC at Eastway Health Center in Dayton, Ohio. I've got videos about it, where I was doing assessments and giving counseling on people with drug addictions. And what I know is you don't knock someone else for their drug addiction. If you still haven't come to terms with your own. Seems like you had a lot going on. Does that go away? Can people work their way out of a bad childhood, a bad situation? And there's another post on here where you admitted to being in a mental hospital in treatment 2 different times. So as long as you're hanging on to these Darley supporters' coattails to try and make a little name for yourself, right? You have to remember, you guys always put Basha Jovel down because she had some of these same types of problems. Now, there wasn't any inpatient mental illness, and there wasn't drug addiction where you actually put a needle in your fucking arm or snort it up your nose and then fall asleep standing up. I've never had the pleasure of trying either one of those drugs. But this is what you have on the support side. Now, people speak about me like I'm some kind of drug addict, or I've got a bad temper, or I'm violent, or I've caused all these problems over the years that I've never seemed to have had a police officer come to me with handcuffs. But you got someone in there in support at this time that's everything you accuse me of, and I'm not. Poor Darlie. I mean, look at her. She probably never thought that she would have ex-meth heads, ex-heroin addicts with mental instabilities come out and claiming that she was an expert on something that was involved as a part of Darlie's life. She's an expert on it. In her own writing, 2 years ago, she said she was an expert on it. On this case. Wouldn't she be proud? What do you guys think? Do you think Darlie would like her? I don't. So where does this road lead you to? See the snake. Just in case. And see, I found you because I was following this same lead. I forget the guy's name. Starts with a D. I was following this same lead. It led nowhere though. But I was looking at the topless bars in the Dallas area looking for this guy that had questioned. But then he just went away and they didn't question it. That's how I found you. Getting a little excited there about it being an open case. Here she is. She's actually working a 30-year-old case. It's hard working a 30-year-old case. Oh, the Bag O Club. That's twice she said she worked a case. There's a difference between being a YouTuber and a journalist. Like, I could classify myself as an investigative journalist because I go sometimes in the field and I gather as much data and information as I can about a case and then I present it. That doesn't make me an investigator. This is twice she said the word worked. That's impersonation. The Wayback Machine works wonders. Tight timeline. They're looking at the note, the signature. Oh, hell yes, Wonder Woman. Like I stated in my other comment. Y'all want to form a Reddit PI group? You guys are awesome. Thank you. One can only dream. This is not how you investigate, though. This is not as a private investigator. This is how you research for journalism, though. You go out to the media. You talk to other people. See, this what she's describing right here is investigative journalism, not private investigation. It's probably a better boat for her to float in, since she doesn't qualify as a private investigator by standards of Texas law. She's doing all this for Danelle, who put a post on her Facebook, about the clubs in the area at that time. So she's trying to help her, and she's gathering information, but not evidence. This is investigative journalism. I guess she has Lyme disease. Now, this is what she said about me. This is part of what she said about me. As a mother, I do not think it's appropriate to hack a Facebook, steal a personal photo of my child, and share it to a man who beats children without permission. I guess it's okay to beat children if you have their permission. I have worked in true crime as a mortician at the ME office and have covered crime for over a decade. I have never had a person harass me over a public case. Despite what he says, I did not know this man in any capacity. I was asking if there was a way to report a YouTube or how to protect my family. Not to be told this is not important. That's because they were getting in your shit. This is what she says I did. I hacked her mom's Facebook, took one out of 3 pictures of my child that have even been posted of him being born. I do not have pictures of my kid on the internet. Well, you can look at Sully Beats or Steven Sullivan on Facebook. There's all kinds of pictures of her kid on there. But nobody hacked the Facebook. All right? If these pictures were on her Facebook, you wouldn't have to hack it. You just go to it. Because she's saying I'm taking it. Listen to this. I am the victim of bullying, harassment. Please be aware of that. Victim shaming. Nobody did this shit. Yeah, they're trying to get my channel taken down. The police will know. I left messages on her business page, but she won't be able to show anybody that because that never happened. Repeated calls and messages, having a block, never. Now, the doxing I did do. I cloned her mother's Facebook and took inappropriate pictures of her child. I've called her husband, sister, and mother over and over and over again. But they don't have any record of any calls because I never did that. They shared pictures from a private profile of my son being born. He was only in a diaper. It's not a private picture if it's on the internet. And if you're concerned with him being in a diaper, then don't take a picture of him and put it on the internet, dumbass. It is one of the only pictures I've had of my child on the internet. Spreading that picture around, trying to blackmail her. She's called me a predator on YouTube. Yeah, okay. I'll cover true crime as a living. Liar. She made that video about my son because I pissed her off, not because she didn't know me. She's a liar. She's a fucking liar. There's way more of her on Hail Your Selfie. Yeah, you can look at the comments. I am the devil and don't you forget it. Well. Take up my lot of it. Now, said that she's got no pictures of her son on the internet. But here we have a picture of her son. That's it. This is from 4 years ago. But 2 years later, she said there's no pictures of her son on the internet. I'm not trying to be funny here. I'm not trying to bother anybody. I'm just showing that she's lying. She's a liar. She lied to a whole group of people. A little cake decorating going on there. Little Courtney Love, who I absolutely love her. Baby bumps. She's got all kinds of disease. $5 years ago. Let's move over to Rumble. And remember, her child was born with a diaper on.